Hello my friend and welcome back. My name is Hannah and today I have a 3 looks 1 palette video for you, and I will be using the Melt Amore Wide Mariposa palette. And I don't know, if you saw my first impressions video, I was already in love with the shades that I was using, and you will see in this video how much I truly love this palette. Anything that I use for my 3 looks I will have linked down below. None of my links are affiliated, they're just links there, so if you were interested in any of the products I was using, it's easier to find. I also have all my social medias linked down below, so if you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on a video, because I do post 5 times a week. And this will be the final look that I do. I forgot to film an intro earlier, so I'm just catching up. So this will be the final look. I will transition into the first look after this, but I just wanted to say all of my final thoughts and opinions of overall of the palette are at the end of the video. I do kind of speak about each look at the end of each look if you were interested, but I just wanted to let you know my final thoughts are at the end of the video. So let's go ahead and get into that first look. And this look was kind of inspired by the hummingbirds on the front. I wanted to kind of incorporate that same similar color scheme, but I wasn't quite sure how I was gonna really accomplish that, because I could do an all matte look, but I want to use some of the shimmers at least. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with this shade Guamuchile. I am so butchering all the names in this palette. And I'm gonna bump it in the outer corner. And I'm just gonna blend it in that outer corner. I'm using a more precise kind of blending brush because I want to be precise of where I lay this shade down. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Carino. It's like that lighter green shade, and I'm just going to place it on top. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a naked blending brush and just kind of buff all of that out. And then I'm going to take I'm going to take Mensage right in the inner corner. But then I'm going to take which one should I take? I'm gonna take, then I'm gonna take Sinales right on top, but I'm going to pat it in. And then I'm gonna go back in with Mensage, and then I'm gonna pat that on top. And hopefully this will make that shade kind of pop a little bit more. Make it a bit more dramatic. Perfect. And then I was contemplating what shade to take in the center. I didn't know if I wanted to go in with a matte shade or a purple shade. So I'm gonna take the shade Al Mahada, which is like this deeper purple, and I'm just gonna brush it into the center. Kind of like how you do a halo eye. And then I'm gonna take that brush I used for the inner shade and just kind of blend those colors together to soften that line. And then I'm going to take the brush I used for the outer side and kind of brush that together as well. You know, I'm going to put more of this Carino shade right on top. There we go. That's the green I was looking for. And then I'm going to take a, that's a dirty flat brush. I'm going to take a flat brush and I'm going to take the shade Sangrado. And I'm going to wet my shade, excuse me. Ooh. So now that I have the shade Sangrado wet, I'm gonna place it right over that purple shade. I had a feeling this particular shade, I don't know, you could use more as like a shade topper, and that if I had a base underneath, I could still get that purple. Okay, and then I'm gonna take, what do I want to line with? I'm gonna take the shade Nube, this like deep purple, and I'm gonna line my lower lash line. But I'm gonna try and keep it right in the center, kind of like where my iris is. Because what I want to do is take that first green shade, Guamichil, just to close out that corner. And then I'll go in with that Mensage shade, just to get it right in the inner corner. I have this invisible hair in my face, thank you. Okay, and then I'm gonna do my lashes and my liner and finish this eye off of camera, and then we can see the final look. Okay, so this is the final look, and I'm pretty excited about it. I was kind of hesitant when I saw the colors together, but honestly, if you're feeling not that confident in your eyeshadows kind of coming together, throw a falsie on. Throw a falsie on, and I swear it just fixes everything and everything just makes sense. Not that I think you need lashes to do makeup, I just think sometimes it makes an eye look even better. I'm really excited about this because I don't know, I was kind of hesitant because there's not really too many bright shades like in the wings that they have here. Like there are the brighter greens, but there's not really like, what's the shade I'm looking for? Like not like a bone white or something, but just something that's a little bit lighter. So if you wanted to get like a true version of this, you might have to dip into another palette. But I like that I could bring this like yellow shade to the purple to the greens, and it kind of confirmed that like this pink shade is more of like a wash of color. And so I think the ones that have The squiggles around the glitters, they're not like truly opaque. I think they're just like topper shades is what I believe. Tomorrow I'm gonna play with some other shades. You'll see that look next, but I'm really excited and I love today's look. Really great. Also love this lip combo. I'm just saying I did that. So continue watching to see tomorrow's look and I will see you then. I have to run some chores today and film some other videos, so this first look is going to be fairly simple. I'm just gonna try and play within 2 shades. Let's see if I can even accomplish that, because I always say I'm not gonna go too intense, too dramatic, and then I have like a whole black eye situation. I'm gonna start with the shade Abolita. It's that bright pink kind of shade. And I'm just gonna take that on my entire lid, because I'm setting this as like my base color. So the kind of look I'm going to do is, I want to have a very intense like pink eye. Saying that out loud sounds kind of funny. And for this first shade, I'm just taking an E49 and I'm just kind of blending that over my lid and a little bit above my crease. Okay, and then I'm gonna take an E45 and what shade am I gonna go into? I'll go into this Perla shade. And I'm just gonna tap that into my lid, but specifically on my lid area. And I'm gonna be using tapping motions because I just wanna stamp the color on my lid. I don't necessarily want to blend it out. So I don't know if you guys can really tell. The shades do look fairly similar. That first shade, it just kind of looks like this Perla shade, just a bit more blended out. But I'm gonna build the color by stacking that first shade on top again. And this time I'm gonna use that same motion, that same stamping motion that I used. And then I can blend some of that out and bring it a little bit in the inner corner and drag it down below. And I'm going to take that first shade on my lower lid and just kind of blend it out. I don't mind taking this bigger, kind of fluffier brush on my lower lid to drag out that color, because I do want it to be a bit more dramatic. I just want a big punch of color, and I plan on having like dramatic lashes, so that will really bring the look in all together. So it's okay that this shade kind of bleeds out a little bit farther than usual, because I know for me, I have some like creasing in my lid, some like fine line wrinkles down here. And if I take my shadows beyond like a certain point, it just looks crazy, and then it all folds into my skin in an unflattering way. So there we go. Is my foundation sort of breaking up on my nose? Fabulous. Love that for me. Okay. And I'm just gonna pat a little bit more of that first shade on my lid. You just want to build the color into what is comfortable for you. And the cool thing about this palette is that there are tons of shades like this that you can accomplish a similar look. Like there's 2 green shades that I could do like a very bright, vivid green look like this. The purples are the same. I learned how to do eyeshadow like this from Likely Makeup. She has wonderful tutorial. She has like this beautiful like lilac tutorial that she does. And I think it's so pretty. And when I saw this palette, I instantly thought of that video. Okay, I'm gonna do my other eye off of camera and do my lashes and try to fix whatever's going on right here with my foundation. And I will be right back. So this is the final look. I still have to go style my hair and everything, but I just wanted to catch you guys up on what I did for the makeup look and everything I did off camera. So I applied lashes and I did a gel liner in my waterline. I chose a more like maroon shade. You could probably use like a brown. I wouldn't use a black. You want to think of like the color wheel and like color theory. I'm using a shade that's complementary to my eyes as well as the tones that I'm using. So there's like a bit of drama there without it just being like a very, I don't know, like sudden change of color. I think when you're doing a look like this, having a dramatic lash of some sort really helps pull the look together. At least it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. I don't know, I feel like without them I look like a clown, but there's nothing wrong, I guess, with like looking like a clown. I just think this looks really cool. I don't know, I like how these pigments were able to stack on top of each other and I was still able to get this kind of look. This is kind of how I play with my Club Nebula palette. Because these are red pigments, I'll edit in here any notes if it left any staining or whatnot, because usually red pigments will stain your eye. I really like how this look came out overall. I'm really happy that I was able to stack these pigments on top of each other and I didn't really lose color and I didn't really like, I don't know, sometimes it can get like muddy and things can just kind of not blend well together, but I think this looks really nice and I like how soft it looks. Purposely chose these reds and pink tones just to see if there were any staining. I know when I washed my face the first time using this palette, I didn't have that problem, but I was only using like a red like right here, like I wasn't really using too much. This is now my entire lid and I plan on wearing this shade for the entirety of the day doing my errands. So if you'd like to see the next look, please continue watching and I don't know, I'm excited. So I'll see you guys then. Okay, and then this one is going to be the final look, the third look of this palette, and I don't know, I think I'm just gonna try and play with some shades that I haven't played with. I don't really have an idea of what this is gonna look like. But I think I'm gonna start with, this shade Maria. And I'm just gonna pop this in the outer corner. I think what I wanna do is have like a smokier kind of outer corner that's a bit more dramatic and a brighter inner corner. I think a majority of my looks have been mostly matte shades. So I think I want this one to focus, or I don't know, like the main attraction be one of these shimmer shades. But this Maria shade is super pretty. I love it already. And I'm just gonna kind of build that up and just get it, oh, what is this loose hair? And just pop it right here in the outer corner. And then I think I'm going to deepen that with the Charo shade that's right underneath. This one looks a little bit more brown, so I think I can really kind of deepen that Maria shade. And like we did with that first look, I'm just kind of pressing this in the outer corner because I just want it to be more of like a base that I can build on. And because it is like my crease and I do have a bit of a hooded eye, it is gonna be, I don't know, it's a little bit difficult. I'm getting a little bit of patchiness, but I mean, that's just because it's on a crease. But I mean, when I look straight at you, it looks really good. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with that Maria shade back on top. and just kind of bump that in. I really, really like that. And you see how deep and dramatic that is? That's really pretty. Okay, and then I'm gonna just kind of blend softly whatever I have left of this Maria shade, just lightly into my like inner corner, and just drag it across in that crease space. Because as you can see, like right here in the inner corner, it's a lot lighter. I'm not dipping back into the pan. I'm just taking what I have left on my brush and softening that out. Perfect. Okay, and then I don't know, do I want to lay like a base shade? Not really. Okay, I think this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and go in with the shade Michoacan, I think that's how you say that. But it's like this really teal shimmer shade. I don't know if this is like a pressed glitter, because this is like one of two that doesn't have the squiggly lines around it. So we'll see. I'm going to spray my shadows because that's just what I like to do. And we'll see how this turns out without having like a base shade underneath. This is so blue. I almost have to be like careful with where I place this, because this isn't a what am I trying to say? This isn't like a topper shade. Like, this is a really serious shimmer shade. This is so pretty. I didn't know I needed a teal like this in my life. I really like this. I'm like a little shocked how much I really like this. This is like just as pigmented as that orange shade that I used in my very first video. But for some reason, this is just really, I'm gonna go in with Maria and just kind of like touch those shades together and kind of blend them in. That is so pretty. I think I'm gonna take a little bit of this Carino shade. It's like that lighter green one on a little blending brush. And I'm just gonna like take that into the inner corner. It might be a bit muddy because I'm putting a green on top of this purple, but I just kind of want to buff out my shimmer line so it's not like too clean. Yeah, it's turning a little bit muddy, but that's on me because I'm trying to put a green over a purple. That's actually really pretty. I'm just, this teal shade, I don't know if you can really tell just how like bold this is. And I did like wet my brush, you know, but I feel like even dry, this would still be as intense. I don't know, I kind of want to like lighten this inner corner, but I don't know what I can take. Can I take this Abuelita shade? This like more pinkier shade? Have I already messed it up? Probably. That's my fault. You can't really put a green over a purple. It's just gonna turn muddy. Here, let's see if I can't take that Maria shade and just fix my mistakes. Yeah, if I go back in with Maria, it just makes it purple, which I'll take. Okay, I want to do something bright on the under eye, but maybe not. I don't know. What shade do I want to take? Nueva Vida? Is that what I want to take? It's a little bit deeper, but it should pop maybe a little bit more in color. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to take Nueva Vida right in my lower lash line. It's deep like the other shades, but because I have this like teal and this purple, it's enough of a contrast where it's like a pop of color in my lower lash line. And then I want to take something that will brighten this inner corner. What can I take? Should I take this shade Tequila? It is a shimmer shade. I don't see why not. I'm going to wet my brush again. So this Tequila shade looks more like a silvery kind of gold than like a bronze gold. So let's see just how that looks in the inner corner. Because I just want something that will like brighten. Yeah, this is definitely more of like a silvery kind of gold than a bronzy kind of gold, but I can lighten the inner corner. I don't know, I guess this is also like a learning process, right? I'm not so mad. I'm just mad I messed up that inner corner. I'm gonna try and fix it on the other eye. Yeah, I'm gonna try and maybe do something brighter on the inner corner. I'll be back in just a few moments. I'm gonna put on some lashes, do my other eye, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the final look. On this side, instead of taking that Maria shade all the way down, I only took it halfway, and I went in with that lighter green shade. So as you can see, it's not as muddy on this side as it is on this side, but again, on this side, I'm chalking it up to user error, not palette error. You can't really blend greens and purples like that. I don't know what I was thinking. But I did take a brighter pink gel liner in my waterline just to kind of have a pop of color. I always kind of do the opposite of, if I'm doing a more dramatic, deeper look with my eyeshadows, I try to have a lighter color with my eyeliner and my waterline. Otherwise, I do the reverse. If I have a very bright look, I'll go in with a deeper color in my waterline. I just feel like it helps kind of balance out the colors and make my eyes pop just a little bit more. I did put on some falsies, and I really do like this look. I didn't think this teal shade was going to be as intense. And compared to the other three shades that I used, I try to be more like red and purple leaning. This one, I kind of wanted to bring those more deeper purples into the mix and use some of those other shimmers that I hadn't used. So I'm very happy with how this turned out. I think in this video, I kind of played with all the shades that I possibly could. Obviously, there's a row of neutrals that I didn't really get to play with, but I just kind of wanted to talk about this look before I went into my final thoughts on the palette. So looking at the palette, I mean, I really love this row of greens, and these rows of like reds and purples I think are just absolutely wonderful. I've used all of the shimmers except for Mesquite, which is the more bronzy gold, but I can tell you that like these all look super nice on the lid. I feel like you can do a lot of different versatile looks. What I've really enjoyed about this palette is how pigmented it is and how buildable the shades have been. So like if you really wanted to do a bright, colorful kind of look, you can really accomplish that with this palette. Now I did take T Adoro just as like a single shade on my lid one day. just to kind of run and do some chores in the day and kind of seeing some friends and things like that. And I didn't really want to do like a full face of makeup, but I just wanted like a little bit of like color there. And so I really do enjoy this neutral row for something that like maybe, I don't know, maybe you can't go into work like this, but this is how you like to do your makeup on a daily basis, or you know, like when you can. There is this neutral row that I think like if you're someone that has like 1 or 2 eyeshadow palettes and you kind of have to have it be work and outside of work friendly, I think this would work for you, because these neutrals are also really good base shades to kind of build the other shades on top of. So it's very easy to do the day to night kind of thing. I really enjoy it. I think these reds are super pigmented, and I'm a little sad that you can only get Melt red pigments or shadows in their holiday sets, because it seems that's been their trend. But I mean, I'm really glad that this was my first experience with them, because not only do I get a bright, vivid red, I get this very deep dramatic red, which I super enjoy. But I've really been enjoying the purples in this as well. So I mean, I don't know, it's hard to tell you to buy a $70 palette, because it is a lot of money for a palette, especially if you're not someone that's like doing very bright, colorful looks. But I mean, I don't know, if you were someone that wanted to kind of go outside of your comfort zone and start playing with colorful eyeshadows, and maybe you just wanted, I don't know, for me, I know that like I started playing with colorful eyeshadows when someone suggested to me a really good brand. I think it was one of the Melt palettes. I believe it was the She's and Parties palette, which was more like purple leaning. And I know you can kind of say that purples are more like neutral leaning, especially with like dark brown hair and brown eyes. But I mean, like I was just used to truly doing like taupe and like dark brown in the outer corner kind of looks. So I don't know, if you wanted to experiment and kind of play with color, I really enjoy this palette. Now there are other brands like BH Cosmetics that you can get like beautiful colors and beautiful formulas of bright, vivid colors. You don't have to spend the $70. But if this Melt palette was something that you had your eyes on, I don't know, I just want to help you spend your money wisely and just let you know that like I think this is worth the money if this was something that you wanted to spend your money on. If you see this palette and you're like, oh, I have those shades, I can dupe those shades, I already have them, then you totally don't need it. Totally. I don't want to make you feel bad if you miss out on this palette or whatever. I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's been really fun to make this video. I've loved all the looks that I've done, and I don't know, maybe I'm gonna watch I didn't watch any other 3 looks, 1 palette video, because I wanted my looks to be unique to me, just to kind of give you guys a different experience. And I don't know if any of my looks are similar to any of those videos, but I've been kind of craving to go and watch those videos just so I can get some inspiration on how to really truly utilize this palette. Because for me, I would just stack these shades on top of each other and make them just pop. And I think that it's such a wonderful palette. I think for any kind of like skill set you are in using eyeshadows. Like I don't think I'm by any means like a super like genius makeup artist, anything like that. I just like to rub colors into my eyelids and hope that it works. And I've really enjoyed this. Like I keep catching myself looking at this teal, and it's just like amazing how like super pigmented this is, and just it's wonderful. And I really like this effect of the purple in the outer corner. I have like, if I didn't use this teal shade, I would have put that bright pink shade, what was it called? The Abolita shade right in the inner corner, and you could just have that like super like beautiful like matte shade, or that matte look. And I can say that all the shades have been stackable, so if you really like that second look where I just kind of had one kind of color scheme going, the greens play the same, the purples play the same. So if you're not someone that wants to do like a big pink red eye kind of thing, you can do that with the greens and purples, and I think it's absolutely wonderful. Let me know in the comments down below, what did you think of these 3 looks? Was there something that you would change? Did it catch your eye? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions, and thank you for being so interested in this video. It's always fun to hear feedback from you guys, because I don't know, I want to make content that like people want to watch and engage with. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.